Hello, hello. Interesting. Hey, I think we figured out the sound. My bad. How's everybody doing today? So you probably were wondering what the heck I was doing, showing you my earrings. Okay, so what I was saying is I want to know your go-to snack this time of year. All right, what is it that you go to whenever you want something sweet or salty? And mine is the Christmas tree cake. I am so excited anytime I see them go on sale at Walmart. I am I am buying one for my family and I'm buying another one for me. And it gets hidden. Yes, I am a sneaky eater of Christmas tree cakes. So right now in the comments section, tell me what is your go-to snack whenever you are going through the holiday season. Okay. All right. If this is your first time here today, would you throw me a thumbs up and tell me that you are here for the first time? Just smash that button like 45 times and just keep hitting the thumbs up button. Let me see you right now. I see you. Okay, and chocolate covered pretzels, very good. Kettle corn, Deidre, that's awesome. I love kettle corn too, but something about the little sugar crystals, those green sugar crystals on the Christmas tray cakes, I cannot keep myself from eating them. Okay, so I'm not going to spend the whole day talking about snacks. We have a great guest on the show today. Her name's Alicia O'Donnell, and she is in charge of grants and federal funding here at the school. Here she is. Alicia, say hi to everyone. How's it going?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, Erin. I appreciate it.
Of course. Tell us a little bit about you. Who is Alicia? And then what is it that you do here at the school?
So I have been with Epic for a few months now. Actually have about 22 years in education. I'm the director of grants and federal programs. So I oversee all federal programs through the State Department, through the U.S. Department of Education. Also writing some grants. Only been here a few months, so don't have many of those going just yet, but we will continue to work on those. With my 22 years in education, lots of experience with school finance, administration of federal programs and grants. So I am in the ballpark of my, I guess, expertise or my experience anyway. And so that's kind of my background. Right now, what we're doing for federal programs comes back to ESSER. So.
And ESSER, we've got a little video to show you, but before we do, what does ESSER stand for? In some of the emails, the title was so long, I couldn't make it the title of the email. What is ESSER?
ESSER is federal funds, and it stands for Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief. So ESSER funding has to do with the COVID-19 pandemic. It's emergency relief to help us in dealing with the things that have occurred because of the pandemic.
Okay, well, let's show the video real quick. And this was a part of the email that many of you have already responded to. So thank you so much. But let me click play on that video real quick.
Epic Charter Schools one-on-one charter and blended learning charters have received historic federal funding to address the ongoing impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. These funding categories have been called ESSER, which stands for Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief. 2 allocations have been given so far, ESSER I and ESSER II. ESSER I and ESSER II funding was released during the 2020-2021 school year. ESSER III applications are now open and funds can be used through September 2024. Epic Charter Schools will receive more than $28 million for the Epic One-on-One Charter and more than $16 million for the Epic Blended Learning Charter. 20% of these funds must be used to address learning loss in grades K through 12, with the rest intended to sustain the safe operation of school. These are one-time funds or short-term expenditures. This means we must be strategic in how we use these funds to ensure the decisions made can be sustained once the money has been spent. And this is why we need to hear from you. Epic Charter Schools has launched its Community Engagement Survey with the intent of gathering as much information as possible related to ESSER III related funding. Just a reminder, the funding must be used to ensure the safe continuation of services for both students and staff. 20% of these funds must be used to address learning loss due to COVID-19. To take the survey, visit epiccharterschools.org/ESSER. From there, you will need to click on the survey button marked ESSER III Survey. You may also note that the survey is available in both English and Spanish. After clicking the survey link, you will be asked a short series of questions. Answer the first 3 as they relate to you. On the 4th question, you will be asked to rank in order of greatest need. Review the areas and then begin ranking them 1 through 5. Answer the final question and hit submit. After that, you're all done. We appreciate you for taking the time to complete this important survey. At any time, the public is welcome to look at the district's plans, use of funds, and give feedback by visiting epiccharterschools.org/ESSER.
Wow, that was really good. What a great video. And so, having watched that, we've pushed it out via email to families and to our staff. We've pushed it through the social media app. It's on Facebook. It's through our intranet. We're going to try to get as much data as we can, but it's not like we were just like given a bunch of money to go carte blanche spend, right? So what do we spend this money on?
Okay, so ESSER has to be in response to COVID-19. So some of the ways that we can spend it would be prevention and mitigation. So preventing COVID-19 or mitigating the exposure. On student social, emotional, and mental health needs. We know throughout this whole entire pandemic that those have been some big areas that we need to make sure that we're focused on. As the video showed, we have to spend a minimum of 20% on academic learning loss. So when all of the schools shut down back last year, Epic didn't have to do some of the things that some of the other schools did because we were already set up to continue education. But all of our students across the state have some learning loss because of everything that has gone on with the pandemic. So we want to spend 20% at least on academic learning loss, and then it can be spent in ways like other federal programs. The thing to keep in mind is this is short-term or one-time money. This is ESSER III. We did get ESSER I, ESSER II, and now it's ESSER III. But this would not be funding that we want to spend on our teacher salaries. We're always, the teachers are there day in and day out. This is going to be for short-term things that will help us to provide the resources, provide for the learning loss, but not something that we want to look at as a long-term expenditure.
Okay, very good. Hello?
There we are.
Okay, there, very good. Sorry, sometimes I have a difficult time switching back and forth. So Kristen said she got it. She already filled it out last night, but she is wondering, do I fill it out once for both of my kids or twice since I have 2 students? And I'm going to say, Kristen, you've got 2 students, and then there's you, and then your husband may have some differing ideas. Any stakeholder is what we're looking for, right? Am I right in this, Alicia?
Absolutely. So we want to hear from everyone, all of the different ideas. We will be working on putting a plan together, and we'll use all of that data to help make sure that we hear what our staff is saying that we need, what our parents are saying, what our students say, and even what community members are saying. How should this money be used to greatly impact our students?
And so I love that people have gone to town. They've already started filling it out. The last I looked, I mean, I sent you a message at something like 8 o'clock this morning, 763, 764, I mean, I was just watching it in real time grow, which is kind of exciting as a data nerd. But already that was in the 700s this morning. We're at 1275 right now. So fill out those applications. If every student filled one out, we'd have nearly 40,000. So add to that the parents and guardians, and we should get a pretty good sampling of what it is that people would like us to spend that money on. And I love that, Sabrina. Yes, Sabrina says, it's awesome that we have input. Is it required to get data from our families and staff? Is it required, Alicia, to get the data from both sides? Who fills this out?
Everyone. So it is required that we have input from all stakeholders. And again, if you think about stakeholders, that would be your staff, your teachers, parents, students, everyone. So it is required, but we also want the input. I've already started looking at some of the information, and we have the area in the survey where we put some topics out there to be ranked. But we also have that open-ended question at the end, and I've been reading some of those. We have some great information coming in, which will impact our ESSER spending, but will also just be great input for us to have as we plan for the future.
Yes. The other thing I've found is how highly ranked that instructional materials was. Have you looked at the bar
Yes.
charts going through there? Everybody says, please, I would love some more instructional materials, which is great. Great to know. Okay, we've got a few more questions coming through here. Sabrina says, oh, so students can input. That's awesome. And especially if your students, I mean, I would say fourth grade and up probably has a pretty good handle on what they would like to see in their school. And maybe you could get some more out of a younger grade. Yeah, great idea. Mia says, I got the email, the Facebook post, and the push notification from the app. Mia, sorry we hit you in 3 ways, but I'm glad we hit you in 3 ways, because that means we're going to get more data from the people. Some people are only email, some people are only app, some people are only Facebook. And so we had to make sure that we got it to everyone. But Mia, thank you for recognizing that we got it to you in all 3 ways. Nana T says, done it. Targeted one-on-one skill drills in lacking areas. I only got 1 email. Answers still would be the same. No worries, Nana T. And I know your grandkiddos are really small anyway. So Christy says, how do I fill it out? And Christy, that's a great question. You'll just click on the link. I believe we put it down there for you. And you just click take the survey. It takes you to the survey, and you just put the buttons where you need to put the buttons. Nana T says, raises hand, definitely needs a Nana T, what will work the best. So I am loving that answer, Nana T, because you will always give me your input, whether I'm asking for it or not. And listen to me, I am asking for it. We need it right now. So fill out that survey. Alicia, what are some of the surprises you've seen in the 1,200 responses? Was there anything that's kind of like, oh, okay, they're not quite as into maybe this as they are into that?
I don't think I've had time to analyze just enough yet to know if there are some big surprises. But one of the things that I thought maybe we might have would be needing more technical support or something like that. And it doesn't seem to be coming up as high. There's still some marks there that we need it, but it's not coming up quite as high as what I thought it might be. But that's just a great thing that EPIC's doing a great job with their technical support. So I think that helps us realize that. One of the things I want to note in the survey, on question number 1, it asks who you are as a stakeholder. On question 2, it has some questions about, or has some things where you can give input, whether you might represent students of low-income families, students of color, English learners, children with disabilities, students experiencing homelessness, children in foster care, or migratory students, or other ways that you might represent. And when you answer that question, it does say check all that apply. So if you have students in your family that meet any of the various categories that we've listed there, please make sure you mark all of those. Because one thing with ESSER funding is we want to make sure that we're impacting all students, but that we're also closing the gap for achievement in some of those subgroups that may have issues beyond what our total population might have. So that's what that question number 2 is for, so that we can really drill down and identify, when you do leave the comments or when you do the ranking, we can really identify what groups of students, what subgroups of students are we talking about.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the questions over here. Let me see. Mia says, definitely not a complaint. I'm glad to see it being sent to everyone in every way. Good. I'm really glad that we're not like overwhelming people. Sabrina wants to know, will we get an update when the results are in? How are we going to inform people when we've gathered all the data, and how will we present it to everyone?
That is a great question. So once the data is in, we will start analyzing that, and we will put together a plan, which we already have. We have the beginnings of a plan with some things that are outlined. That data will drive what the plan ends up being. It will be posted on our website at the epiccharterschools.org/ESSER. The plans will be posted there. We will also go back and post information on ESSER 1 and 2. So that will be all things ESSER will be posted there. The decision making, once the data's in, will be the superintendent, the deputy superintendents, the leadership of EPIC will take that data and drill down to really come up with the final plan.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I've got some more questions. Let me see. Nana T says, I almost messed up on my phone. Didn't realize to scroll sideways on the form to rank the questions. And then she's giggling at me. Thank you, Nana. Mia says, I apologize. I haven't clicked through the survey yet. Busy day. Can you let me know, when is the deadline to fill it out? Do we have a deadline set right now?
We have not set a deadline as of right now. I would say we'll leave it open through the end of December. But we are, as the data comes in, we will start to analyze that in the next week or two so that we can make sure we're ready to put that plan together as soon as the Christmas break is over. So we don't have an official deadline.
Awesome. I see our board chairman, Mr. Paul Campbell, is watching us. He says, this is great. Thank you, Paul. We love that you're tuning in. He says, I took the survey, looking forward to seeing the results. Me too. I'm very much looking forward to seeing those results. Alicia, you've been with EPIC for a pretty short time, but this is making a pretty huge impact right away. What are some of the other things that you're kind of working on in the background as we're going through the school year?
Oh, wow. A lot of things are on the plate right now. Federal programs is very broad. There's a lot to do with federal programs. So, we have Title I, Title II, Title III. So really, we're working on all of those. I'm becoming more familiar with the plans that are already in place. One of the things I love about this survey is that some of the input that we're getting will impact ESSER, but it will also impact all of those other federal programs. We are working on a Title VI program application that will be due in the spring. So we are working on trying to get that going. We do have a Native American programs in place, but we are also looking to build that if we can get some of that federal funding through Title VI. As far as grants go, we're doing all kinds of research. Our parent and family engagement group, they have some great ideas. And so we're actually working on looking for some grants that will help them meet the needs that they have with their parent family engagement group. There's all kinds of things, just making sure that, again, that we're meeting the needs of every subgroup of our population of students.
Thank you so much. And I know I put you on the spot with that one because it wasn't a question in the comments section, but the comments are slowing down a little bit. So if you've got a question for Miss Alicia, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to let her get back to work. Okay, so Miss Alicia, thank you so much. What is one more thing you want the group to know before they go about these ESSER funds?
I would say this is our opportunity to dream for some of the things that we can put in place, one-time expenditures, but big things that we can put in place that will impact our students for several years. So I would say dream big. You know, when you're giving that input, sometimes we get locked into our own little box. We think we have all of these ideas that we think would be great for ESSER, and somebody offers something that is a little different, and it's that wow factor. It's like, oh wow, I didn't even think about that. So dream big. Tell us your dreams and ideas for what we can do. I know the board and the superintendent, the leadership group, you know, they have a vision for where we want to go, but this is your chance to give some of that input for what are your big dreams for EPIC? What are your big dreams for your kiddos and the opportunities that they could have through what we're doing with EPIC?
Oh my gosh, yes, I'm loving this. And just so you know, since we've started this, another 25 results have come through on this thing. I am watching it like a hawk. I just love watching those numbers pop. Mr. Paul Campbell wants you to know, he said, parent engagement and empowerment is one of our top 5 aspirations. Love hearing you say that, Miss Alicia. Thank you so much. All right, well, we're going to give you your time back. Thank you for coming in and telling us about this and answering some of the questions about it. We really look forward to hearing a debrief from you really soon, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Erin, and we will. Sorry.
You go for it.
Okay. Thank you for having me. And I appreciate all of you out there that are giving your input. I know you have friends and family that you can push them to make sure they're giving us that input. And this is huge, really gaining the feedback. And I will definitely give a debrief as soon as we have some information to share.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for asking your questions in the comments section. As always, you can get a hold of me by emailing me right here, erin.barnes@epiccharterschools.org, if you ever need to get a hold of me. Thank you for making EPIC a top place to work and a top place to learn. See you next week.